Oh boy, guys. Sit back, relax. I'm going to be here a little while talking about this. This one's going to be a doozy. Alright, guys. Hey, welcome back. Slade, grade level collectibles. I haven't posted in about, 2 weeks now? Something like that. Like I said before, starting this channel, or way back when, I don't, I'm never really going to be on a consistent basis of when I'm posting and everything, because I don't want to make videos just to make videos. I want to make videos to talk about stuff, what's happening in the market, what stuff that's happening with me in my business, giving you guys a little insight on that, and just in general, things to talk about. I don't want to just be open mouth thumbnail, enticing all these people to click on me because I have a stupid face or something. But today, wanted to talk about many different subjects. I'll list some out. Consolidation. I did a whole video about consolidation and what's going on, the trends that I saw, and it's even more so. It's like heightened to like 2 or 3 times as much than I saw, like maybe 2 months ago. But consolidations on rare cards selling more quickly, way more quickly than some modern, V-Star Universe or any Scarlet and Violet promos going on right now, or any set card. Also, an acquisition I'm buying, acquisition of 1 card, taking a whole trip down to Florida to do so. But talk about that. Talk about my collecting goals, where I'm at. What I want to complete in 2024, now that we are in 2024. Also, TCG coin collecting, that as well, and an update on my interactive map. So, that is the whole index of this whole video, what's going to encompass. But also, I don't know if you notice, the clarity, you can see me a little bit better. Maybe not, maybe. This is recording in 4K, so I probably should talk quicker than normal because my SD card can only hold so much data. So I'm recording this in 4K just to see if it gives any type of difference. Obviously, it's going to take me probably a day to upload this entire video because of it's in 4K. But I just wanted to add a little bit more quality on top of it, just to see my static face, even though a lot of you guys just listen to me ramble, and I literally could record my videos in 480p and nobody would care. Which sometimes, very interestingly, a little off subject, very interestingly, people would much rather see crappier video but good versus bad audio and really good visuals. So if your audio sounds all tinny and really sparse and really just crappy, like you're talking into, I don't know, an iPhone, an iPhone speaker or whatever, and that's your quality of your audio, then a lot of people will not stand for that or won't stick with a video rather than really good visuals really good audio and really crappy visuals. So anyway, just a little side tangent. So not saying that's what I'm doing. I have the camera. I just want to hit it and go with it. So we'll just roll with it. So anyway, so today's topic, starting off at the very top. So rare cards in today's markets are being sold and exchanged faster than I would say normally in a normal market, because a lot of people are consolidating their collections, moving into higher collections now that prices have kind of came down a little bit from the crazy summer that we had, but at the same time, those high-end cards are really not cheap. And I'll really get into that. And first, I want to talk about what we're seeing in the market today, from a macro standpoint and then a micro standpoint. So, from a macro standpoint, obviously, the economy, not doing super hot. Labor market, it's the unemployment rates going up. Houses are staying on the market for longer. Everything is a toxic asset. Bitcoin skyrocketed to 40K. Went to 44K and then came crashing down to 41K because Jim Cramer talked about it. Fascinating. That man, fascinating. Could do a whole case study on him and his impact to the market. Watch, if you're interested, type into YouTube 2008 Jim Cramer, and that should be it. And you'll see, he was talking about Bear Stearns. I'm a big finance guy, so it's finance jargon. So Bear Stearns was a big bank back in 2008. There was a caller, he was doing a whole, that's his whole thing. He's like a talk show, or he's like this talking head type of personality person. Think of like think of like, I don't know, if you type into YouTube financial guru or whatever, just think of like a financial guru or whatever. But anyway, that was his personality back then. Well, still now is. But anyway, in 2008, someone called him to a show, and he was talking about the stock market, talking about, Bear Stearns went down 10% or 5% or whatever. And then someone was asking from the audience, or asking for, like, called in. So, like, hey, do you think I should should I sell my stock in Bear Stearns? I'm not super confident in the stock. He's like, selling your Bear Stearns stocks? That's the stupidest thing that I've ever heard. Do not sell your Bear Stearns stock. And then like 3 days later, Bear Stearns declared bankruptcy, which is hilarious. No, it's not hilarious. It's absolutely horrendous during that time, because a lot of people lost jobs. A lot of people lost their butts pretty much in the market. But anyway, side tangent beside that. So that's what's happening in the macro. Bear Stearns. No. Yeah, so macro, Bitcoin shot up from 16K or whatever, but it's now at 40K or whatever. Who knows what it's going to do? But overall, the market is not looking hot. Definitely not looking hot. Stimulus checks gone. They've been gone. There was a statistic that came out where it said in August, like, Americans still have a really good bank account, like really have a lot of money in the bank saved up. I don't know where they're pulling this data from, like out their butts, because everyone that I've talked to and that I've talked to online and have, the general consensus is like, like talking about COVID, people still have savings from COVID. Like, our COVID savings ran dry like 2 years ago. Like, I don't know where these people, the economy people or whatever, pulling these statistics. Like, oh yeah, people have tons of money in the bank, tons of savings. They can ride out this recession, possibly recession or whatever. But anyway, God, that's a huge tangent I've been on. I watch a ton of finance stuff, watch a ton of everything. I'm not just solely focused in Pokemon. It is a big portion of my time, but not entirety of it. I like to know the general macro sense of it. But anyway, so TLDR, macro bad right now, and micro in Pokemon. We can see that newer sets that are coming out, the singles aren't selling pretty well. Yeah, so in general, it's just bad. Like I said, you have new sets coming out, not really selling pretty well, and not selling at all. Modern is just, in a sense, oversaturated, and you see that in a lot of areas nowadays. But if you're a collector, it's the best time right now, because you're filling out your binders, you're filling out what promo you will like. Promos are still crazy. But hopefully they get better now that all the flippers and dippers or whatever, majority of them are gone, because there's just no money anymore. And they're like, oh, there's no money to be made? Oh, what's Pokemon? I don't know what Pokemon is. Bye. Pretty much that's what it is. I would predict, as the market gets more and more oversaturated and people start leaving more, in a sense, you'll see less and less of whatnot sellers, streamers, whatever. I think that'll be less and less of a thing. There's always going to be gamblers in the world. and people always want to gamble. So waffles are probably here to stay, sadly. But as more and more collectors are more knowledgeable in the area, and those who don't know what waffles are, they're like Facebook bottom of the barrel type of selling, where you sell slots. So like if you had 100 slots and each slot was $20, and then you'd have was it $2,000 item to sell off, you would randomly, random number generator, randomly pick one person, and then they get the $2,000 item for $20. But in essence, that's just gambling, rewrapped. That's all it is. Where you have people that are recovering from gambling addiction, from whatever, like drugs, alcohol, or whatever, and they come to Pokemon as a safe haven, because whatever you're buying, it will retain some value. But with those types of things, waffles, it's just preying pretty much on the people who have gambling addictions, who have those like need to get that fixed type of deal. I was part of one on Facebook, just to post my stuff or whatever. Not like just waffles. It was just like a buy-sell. There's usually Facebook groups. Those tend to be around because of the waffles, because of they're raffles, but they call them waffles to get around the Facebook alerting software or whatever. Anyway, it's garbage. At the end of the day, it's garbage. So that's still going to be the thing, which sucks. But I think Whatnot and those streamers are going to be less and less of a thing going into the future. So, again, from an eBay store, I get about 5 million hits, 5 million impressions. There you go, impressions. I think it's like 4.5 to 5 million impressions per month, I think it is. Or is it weekly? I think it's monthly. Or is it weekly? I don't even know. I think regardless, I get a lot of exposure on eBay. And what I've been noticing, especially obviously this past holiday season, there was been an uptick of things selling and people coming to my store, viewing my store online or whatever on eBay. And that's to be expected. It's the holiday season. People are wanting to buy Pokemon cards for their kids. And I was selling pretty inexpensive cards, modern cards, for not that much. I maybe got like $5 in profit, maybe $4 in profit, something like that. But like art rares, especially the Drowsy art rare from, I think that's Scarlet and Violet, Japanese base, some of that sort. And then I sold like a, oh man, what's the tree Pokemon? Oh no, not Dedenne. Dedenne's a little rat. Anyway, the little tree Pokemon that's art rare. He's hiding in the street, but it's obvious. Oh, Sudowoodo. There you go, Sudowoodo. Come on, how did I forget about him? So Sudowoodo art rare. Some other cards here and there. Some of the recent grading sub. I came back. I've been selling. I just sold a first edition Ampharos. I packaged it up already. Ampharos from. Oh, Neo Revelations? The one with a really bad print quality. I got a PS8 on it, and it had a big, solid print line. If you want to see any of those, it's on my video that I did a couple weeks ago. But anyway, so what I've been noticing as a trend is for every single modern card, especially nowadays, take December as like a anomaly of like, okay, Christmas, everything, whatever, but in general sense, for the past 4 months, for every one modern card I've sold about 3 or 4 rare cards. And when I'm talking about rare cards, I'm the Japanese exclusive, not that much in the pop report, and even super high dollar values, and people wanting to make a deal on it or whatever. I had a guy that was very persistent at buying my Crystal Charizard, and I had turned down. I just don't want to sell it for the market price right now. It's funny, everyone's like, oh, market price, and like nobody wants to sell at market price, and they get mad. They're like, what the heck, it's market price, man, what the heck, why is nobody selling it? Dude, like, if we don't want to sell these cards, we won't. It's not worth it to us to sell these cards at that certain value. Where if you're willing to spend maybe $500 to the last previous sale, or even a little bit more, you'll probably get that card. But again, no one's putting, well, very few people are putting these cards up in auction because they know auctions stink right now. It's a big stinker. I'll tell you this from personal experience. They are big stinkers right now. Some guy, it's okay, not okay, J-Love. Pokejace. He bought 2. He's on YouTube. He's pretty cool. He got a steal, man. He robbed me. He turned around and just robbed me. He bought a Kanazawa Sobble and a Kanazawa Milotic, PSA 9 both. For the Sobble went for paid and shipped. No. Just buy it now. No, buy it now. Bidding $25. And the Milotic went for $24. So for $60, maybe $70, he got both of those in a 9. Whew! Man, I mean, it's whatever. I'm glad the guy got a steal, but that's what it was. He just literally stole from me. But they're PSA 9s. They're Japanese modern PSA 9s. They wouldn't go for that much anyway. But maybe like 2 years ago, I was just selling that Sobble PSA 9 for like $50. But anyway, saying a lot of my stuff underperformed, and it was a lot of my stuff I was just moving. I had some CGC slabs. I'm like, whatever, sold for like $14. CGC 10s. Not pristine, just regular, which were 9.5s. You know how it is. But anyway, yeah, big stinkers right now is auctions. Nobody wants to sell their mid to lower end cards, especially the bottom of the barrel cards, because they'll just sell for close to nothing. And nobody wants to just get their grading cost back. Like if you put, do I have anything close by? Ooh, there we go. Hold on. Just imagine this is not a Plasma Storm Charizard. Imagine this is an art rare of Sudowoodo, okay, in Violet, 151. Or, no, it was 151. Whatever. An art rare, okay, an art rare in here. This card maybe art rares, okay, maybe a little bit higher, maybe full art or whatever. Maybe $10, $15, okay, just raw cost. You get a PSA 10. Of a card that's a full art, regular $10 card, it's probably going to sell for $15 because it is modern, it is oversaturated, and it is in this market. Modern is not performing at all, very well at all, and it's just better just not to sell your stuff. Just auction it. Don't auction it. All my stuff, majority of my stuff is buy it now, and every single time, I come up, I'm like, man, I'd like an extra grand in the bank account or whatever, or I'd like to, put money toward another item, like, I'll just sell some other stuff, but man, it hurts every time I put up an auction, especially nowadays. Whew! Hurts so much, and it's because of this market we're in. Now, if I put up a PSA 9 of a 20... Was that 2014? Yeah, 2014 Battle Festa Pikachu. I still got wrecked. Well, I guess I didn't get wrecked. I guess it was average. It was like $600, $700, something like that for a PSA 9. Now, that was getting wrecked in July. As in, if you got that price in July, you got wrecked. But nowadays, it's probably just average. So you have people that are going after those cards, going after the high-end cards that are doing pretty well. But again, if you have mid to bottom of the barrel cards, you're just selling it at grading costs. That's what you're doing. Maybe even worse. But anyway, so that's what's going on. That's what I've seen, that every 3 high, now this is not on eBay, majority not on eBay. I've sold high-end cards on eBay. Like I just sold a Core Mew CGC 10 for, I think it was 2.3, 2.6, 2.5. It was 2.5. Yeah, I think it was 2.5. I sold that on eBay. That was a pretty good sale. But overall, majority of my high-end stuff is just private. It's just private sales. And because people know that they're good prices right now. The market price is really good. And a lot of my items, I'm just not selling for market price. I'm selling a little bit higher because they're just not good prices. You know, they may be market price, but I'm not needing, you know, 10K tomorrow. I can just hold off for a year, hold off for some time, and I know a lot of you guys can do the same. And yeah, speaking of the devil, Plasma Storm, Charizard, a guy from Romania buying this. He's buying, probably regret this, but I don't know, it's going to a good cause. He's buying this base Zard as well, PSA 9. Very hesitant in selling this thing, so I'm selling these two to him in Romania. Pretty cool. I already sent him a package. He bought some other cards, but buying those for cash, which is pretty cool. But again, I wouldn't sell those for market value or, you know, bottom of the barrel prices, because you know, if I am, it's because I'm getting something other. You know, I'm rolling that money into something else that is undervalued in my eyes. And so that money kind of works for me as well. But regardless, so that goes in my, I guess I can jump around here. So my trip to Florida that's coming up. I'm going to Florida. I'm not going to see Rudy. That man. Anyway, I'm going to Florida, going to, I probably shouldn't, I guess, I'm going to Jacksonville. What are you going to find me in Jacksonville, Florida? But I'm going to Florida to do an exchange, I'm purchasing, acquisition, there we go. No, I'm buying a card from a fellow that I've been eyeing for a while, and it's kind of an upgrade. I had a grade, kind of give it away. I'll do a whole reveal video when I have it in hand, because I don't want to promise anything right now and like it doesn't happen or whatever. I'm going from one grade and stepping up to another grade. I sold that one grade, sold it for cash that I thought that was a pretty good deal, and it was only like $1,500 away from the next grade. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I sold for a really good price here, and I'm stepping up to a new grade, a higher grade. And I see those are types of plays that you really have to have an eye on and know what's going on and be in the right time, right place, because prices can really shift really dramatically. If you have an item that is this percentage, let's say, okay, I won't say $1,500, I'll just say a percentage of it. So, did I just sell? You received the 2,000. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. It just sold. Awesome. It just sold. Live. Okay. Okay, cool. I'll have to ship that. Oh, then someone else bought that. Sorry, I get eBay stuff all the time. It's exciting. It's whatever. So anyway, let me do this math real quick. Okay, so 20%. If it costs 20% of the total cost to go from one grade to another, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you step? Especially if you're going from a grade, let's just say it's an 8 to a 9. If you're going to an 8 to a 9, that's a huge step. You know, a near mint to mint, that's a mint card, and especially if it's a new cert and everything, very little whitening, no dents, almost perfect card, has maybe a little bit off-centered, whatever. And for the type of card I'm getting, that's highly rare. Only 2 of them are on eBay. That may have given the card away, but there's only 2 on eBay, and I'm getting one of them. But anyway, It's like, it's a no-brainer. Duh, I'm gonna do that. Now the step up between the 9 and the 10 is crazy. It's like 5 times X. It's 5X the price of it. But that may go into why it's so close. But it was just a no-brainer for me. Okay, spend $1,500, or technically it didn't spend $1,500 because I sold the card and then I sold these 2 cards, and then that'll give me, I sold a total of 3 cards, and it'll give me this upgrade from this one previous card. Anyway, so that's happening really soon. Should be this Saturday. And let me know if you're in Jacksonville. Love to say hi. Don't rob me, please. I have this one card, please. Anyway, so that's happening. That's going to be fun. But in general, again, that's what I see in the market. Everyone's just searching out their high card. And that's what I'm doing too. I'm consolidating. I'm having all these cards that I'm shipping off to very lucky people that can get PSA 9s in these cards that in 10s are like 3 times as much. PSA 9s are where it's at, man. It really is. There's a time and place for PSA 10. You go best of the best. Yes, 100%. But in vintage, like, you're opening a pack, and sometimes the pack fresh cards are 9s. That's what they are. Like a 10 is just like the how I was able to get a Venusaur as well as Electrode in a 10 from EX era, 2004 is beyond me. Like that Venusaur, not Venusaur. What is it? No, it is a Venusaur. Yeah, a Venusaur EX. That 9 versus 10 is crazy amount. It's like 9 is like maybe, I think, $200, and then a 10 is literally $1,200. It's crazy, but it's because of the hard to grade. It's really hard to grade. But anyway, so that is not the expectation. Like, these literally could be pack fresh cards. This has a print line right here, so that is why that got a 9. And then this Charizard, God, it's a clean flipping Charizard. I actually don't. It's probably the hollow foil. There's a little scratch. No. Yeah. I don't even. Probably just a little bit of whitening. I did a whole video on it. You can see in the video, but it is really, really good looking. But again, at the end of the day, I'm not a Charizard fan. Like, I'd rather have this other step upgrade than have that card. But whatever. A lot of people disagree. I totally go for it. But anyway, so that is what I see in the market happening right now. And it's all just about consolidation. One more point. I think I'll cut off this video because it's going to be like 100 gigabytes long. 100 gigabytes in size. Another point I wanted to hit home, really hit home, is consolidation. That is the theme. That's probably going to be the theme of 2024. Consolidation. And there's a cost to that. I know there was another YouTuber that, Orion's kind of cool. He went to a card show. And he had a whole bunch of lower-end kind of cards, base set cards he probably bought in the boom. Grades 4, 5... 6s, those end. He kind of focused on those grades because he thought it was a really good deal, and in a sense it probably was a good deal, but it didn't really pan out too well. Anyway, he was consolidating all his cards into one high-end card, and he got a Rayquaza BGS 9. Yeah, BGS 9. I think it was like 3 out of the subgrades were 9. Anyway, he got that one card, but the cost to actually get that card, I don't even remember what the cost the vendor was selling it for, but it was significant. As in, he was not only taking a loss on a lot of the cards and the loss on the market valuation of those cards, but also he was maybe overpaying for the Rayquaza. So that's a double whammy. You're not losing 30%, you're probably losing 50% or 40% of the value that you could pay just in cash. Cash is king, obviously. But also you're losing value on your cards as well. And that's a whole conversation. Consolidation. What's the cost of consolidating? Is it better for you just to sell bottom of the barrel your cards or sell them to someone who actually wants them, or sell to a vendor or consolidate into a higher end item? for significantly less for them to sell and later on. And some people, it's the latter. Some people, their time is worth more than what it would yield them if they sold it on themselves, sold it through themselves. So maybe some people just don't have platforms. There's great platforms, like if you don't have a platform, there's great auction sites like Z&G Emporium. Like they're crazy price. They're probably going to go up over time, obviously, as they're just doing super cheap right now to set in stone their name through eBay, whatever. But there's great consolidation services out there that would probably be the best of both worlds. That would consolidate your cards. You don't have to sell your own cards. You don't have to list it, go through you get pretty close to market value because they're all starting at $1.99, whatever auction ends. And they're taking a little bit off top. You know, I forgot the percentage. I think there's like, if you have it above $500 or above $1,000 or whatever, I think below $100 is like a $5 fee or something on top of that. But like, if you have middle of the range kind of cards, maybe the lower end cards, and you don't have a platform, I would honestly just go into Z&G Emporium. The only reason I sell on my eBay store, I know I probably can, like those auctions, they probably would have been performed very well on Z&G Emporium. They probably could have. But I want to build my eBay store. I want to build my reviews. I want to build my client base. I want to build my customer base. And I see value in that instead of just offboarding it onto a platform. If it's a really high-end card, yes, I'm going to use one of those, like SM Pratt's Consignment Services or Z&G Emporium or PWCC, whatever. But lower-end cards, like, okay, I'll take the hit. I just want those reviews. And if people get really good deals, that's great. They're going to leave me very good feedback. If they get a steal, they're going to leave me really good feedback. But yeah, so consolidation, you know, what is that value to you? I personally would rather, and this is just me dealing with a lot of high-end stuff and everything, I would rather get $6,000 in cash than a $8,000, $2,000 difference, $8,000 trade, no cash. Trade consisting of maybe 30 cards, 20 cards. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of effort to squeeze out that $2,000. Some people, it's worth it for them. But for me, I'm riding that fence. I'm like, that's like right on my fence. Like, okay, if it's a little bit over $2,000, if it's anything less than $2,000, it's probably not worth my time. Because, you know, the value that the person is consolidating to, the value that they're getting is the value of liquidity. That's what the value they're getting. The value you're giving to the other vendor is the value of potential further evaluation of the cards, the higher valuation. There is a value and a cost to liquidation. That's what it is. The cost of, you know, paying all cash for an offer and getting a really good price, the cost to you is you have to have that cash on hand. The value to the other side of them receiving that cash is they have cash on hand, liquid. They can put it in the bank. They can spend it on anything else. And they're getting a really good value. If they sold it through a PWCC or sold it through eBay, they would have to take fees and all that kind of crap. And all that just costs money. All that. So that's what I see in the market. That's what I see is happening right now. Obviously, consolidation. Obviously, what's the value of that and everything. But those are my thoughts and feelings on that. I'll definitely cut this video up in different sections. So stay tuned for the next part 2. It won't be labeled part 2. It'll just have a different title on it. So just to keep people coming back. Got to make different content, but. Hopefully you liked seeing my whole face and listening to me in 4K. You know, hopefully this was valuable. If it wasn't, please tell me. I'll probably assess after this video or after these couple videos that like, okay, do I want to stick with 1080p or do I want to go up to 4K? Probably will stick to 1080p since people just listen to me on the... Maybe, you know what? I'm going to go down to 480p, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reverse. I'm gonna decrease the I'm gonna increase the value. I'm gonna increase the audio value of this production and decrease the video production of this, and we'll do a social experiment. How about that? Okay, or I can just do ASMR. I don't know, whatever you guys like. I don't know. Leave me feedback in the comments. Okay. Yeah, cringe. I know. Okay, so those are my thoughts and feelings. I will catch you guys in the next one. I also appreciate all the messages I get on Instagram. People reaching out like, "Hey, I love your stuff. You've given me knowledge on this, or you saved me from a potential scam, or saved me from putting my money in different places that I didn't need to put it." I feel honored to make these videos, make this content for people like that, because that was the original idea behind this, is to make content for the beginner, make content for the information and knowledge seeking collector. And that's what I am. I'm just a sponge of knowledge that I'm just soaking up, But it's taken me a while to get here, and I made a lot of mistakes on the way. But I appreciate all the nice words and everything you guys are reaching out, and all the not so nice words. I'll get into that another time. But anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.